Hello, hello. We are live with Terra Nullius, episode 41. Episode 41.
Time for a midlife crisis.
Yep.
Another one anyway.
Another one. Let's just keep having them. Yeah, so it's episode 41, and I'm very excited for today because we're going to get to head out to Erendira's city, which I haven't really named yet. I don't know if it really has a name exactly. It's just kind of Erendira city. Yeah, you guys are going to leave the Burning Sanctum. At least that's the assumption. I mean, who knows what's going to happen in the last minute preparation that could go wrong. But that's tentatively the plan.
Erendira City?
What?
Can I make a suggestion for Erendira City?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Erendirasburg.
Right, Erendira's. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Real quick, Jordan, your mic is very quiet.
Mine was loud and then his is quiet.
Yeah.
What's going on?
I don't know. The audio gods are not pleased today. It's all good.
They demand a sacrifice.
How's that?
A little better.
A little more?
Yeah.
That's a lot of background noise.
Yeah, it's weird.
That's better.
Maybe just talk a little bit louder and then we're
I can do
good.
that.
Sounds good. Okay, so I think we start today's episode with the first note on my list here. And we're going to get a scene that you guys aren't privy to, at least not yet. So we see a white marble cell. Everything is bright. It looks like a prison in the way that it's built, but for some reason it's not made from like dark stone, or there's no like dripping water or fungi growing in the corner or rats scurrying across the floor. This is like white marble, incredibly intricate like art carved into the floor of this cell, but it's obviously a prison cell. Yeah, Jordan, you raised your hand.
I have recording permission.
Oh, yeah. Yes, you can have recording permission. I remembered one thing today, didn't remember everything.
You should make a notepad with a checklist of everything.
I have been meaning to do that for a long time now, and I probably should, yes. But yeah, so we see this white marble cell. Lots of sunlight kind of brightening this entire area, so it's not dingy at all, not doom or gloom. But the person who is inside this cell definitely has an aura of doom and gloom about them. We see Nahuatl in chains, hanging from the ceiling of this cell, right, chained by her hands on the ceiling, and then her feet are shackled together too. And she looks very, very worn and beaten and tortured. Probably there's probably like thin scars all across her. So she's basically just in like on like underwear more or less. And just has like thin scars running across her like torso. And she has like a black eye. But it's this really beautiful Fire Genasi woman, very like intense in the way she presents herself, but she definitely seems very, very worn and beaten. And I think we have a moment where we get a close-up shot on her face, and we see her kind of like open her eyes as if she's just like waking up, and then she like squints against the light, and then is just like and seems to like look around a little bit as if she's waking up from maybe a torture session after like being passed out for a certain amount of time. She looks and seems to see something that we don't see because we're focused on her face. But then we hear the unlocking of the cage and the swinging of the cell door, and then we see Erendira for the first time on screen. I'm gonna grab her picture for everyone's benefit. This is Erendira. That's her right there. So we see a very thin, lithe UNT woman. She basically just looks like a human, but like with green skin, scales all across her body, but no discernible snake features other than that. And she is wearing a long green kind of gossamer dress, and has all sorts of like jewelry and embroidery and lots of fancy things hanging off of her. And she's not wearing any shoes, but she has like 2 bigger Yuan-Ti guards with her, and they're opening up a cage. And Erendira kind of like steps in and does the classic like villain like take the chin of Nahuatl and kind of like look her over a little bit. And she kind of like smiles slightly, and Nahuatl just like seems to like be doing something with her mouth, and it's not entirely sure what she's doing, like she's grimacing or whatever. And Nahuatl kind of raises one eyebrow and says, "Have you finally come to your senses? Will you tell me what I need to know?" And Nahuatl like goes to open her mouth, and then she spits in Erendira's face. And Erendira just kind of like, and uses some magic, just like, just flicks it against the wall. And she says, "How many times are we going to do this before you realize that there is no hope? No one is coming for you." And Nahuatl just like grimaces and kind of grits her teeth. And she says, "I won't do anything for you. I won't give you any information, and I certainly won't betray anyone." And Erendira kind of nods, like almost as if she expected that answer. And she says, I know. You've convinced me. And so we're going to change things starting today. I'm no longer going to feed you. Except for one thing." And she grabs a knife from somewhere, like this white steel knife, and then just slits one of her guards' throats, and the guard just like crumples to the ground. This like Yuan-Ti big, bulky Yuan-Ti guy, and just like falls to the ground. And then she just kind of like shoves him with a booted or with a scaled foot like across the cell, further into the cell. The other Yuan-Ti kind of like looks at her funny, but like doesn't seem to do anything. And then Erendira looks at Nahuatl and says, "The only thing that you'll be getting to eat is us." And then she takes a step back, then has her other guard close the door, and then leaves. And we see the horror on Nahuatl's face as she is like magically unchained from her shackles. And then she's in this cage now, and she looks down at this like Yuan-Ti corpse.
Ugh.
And we can see that she is actually very, very hungry. Like there's definitely some sort of malnutrition going on. And she looks at the Yuan-Ti corpse and then just like kind of grits her teeth and looks away. And then we start to see kind of like a shimmering in the air, like in the image. And then we pull back and we realize that Zaman is looking at this scene with the eye that sees into the void. And Zaman is like frowning and looking at this whole situation. And then we cut to Terra Nullius credits and get the whole rigmarole. And so let's go ahead and do goals, and then we'll pick up with our characters as they try to save poor Nahuatl, who is going through quite a lot. Quite a lot indeed. So, alrighty. Toity.
That's pretty demented, Caleb, because if she doesn't eat that thing, then it's going to turn into an undead and kill her.
That's I hadn't thought about that. That's messed up.
Messed up.
Yep.
You say I'm weird.
I mean, all she has to do is make sure, like, if it's like decapitated, will it still like get up and be undead?
Do you have a way to decapitate it besides her teeth?
Yeah, like she doesn't have anything on her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Toity, what are your goals?
Make a name for myself in the mainland.
Mm-hmm.
Then floop-de-doo and noop-de-woo.
Yep.
That's it.
Sounds good. Yeah. Okay. Same goals. Raya.
Teach Darius how to read.
Of course.
Do more orb drug stuff.
Right. Always more orb drug stuff.
Yes. And then 3 is find Nahuatl.
It's
gonna be boring.
But it's fine. Okay, fine. Nahuatl. Miggy is going to have his same goals: help Raya recover from her loss, marry Ari, and prove myself to the party. And then Ari, what do you got?
Pretty much the same goals. Get out of my contract with Lord Navarro, train Miggy, and a third goal, which is survive the mission.
Survive the mission. So it's not complete the mission, it's just survive the mission.
Because originally my goal was rescue Nahuatl, but I was like, you know what? Ari really cares about living. She really wants to live, especially now that she knows Samuel's alive.
Right, so even if this goes wrong, like, you're going to still try to complete the party goal, which is get a new God of Death, but ultimately her priorities are survive.
Right. She doesn't care about actually rescuing Nahuatl. She's like, we could get a different person to become God of Death.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, that's just, you know.
Sure. Yeah. So. Sounds good. Very Ari goal. Darius.
Okay, I have a third goal that I want you to read before I...
Sure.
Do you think this is
let me
doable?
Let me look. Third goal. You might have to click away from the box so you can so it updates if you rewrote it. Yeah, that's a great goal.
Awesome.
Yeah, I have that goal.
Yeah, so I'm going to try to figure out how blood creates a new God of Death and this bad blood thing. Rescue Nahuatl. And defeat Erendira.
Yeah. I believe in you, Darius. I believe you can do it.
I know, that's what I was like. I was thinking about making something like that a goal, and then I was like, no, that's too reliant on
us
being good at things.
Yeah.
We're competent when we want to be.
It's true. Sounds
We can be as
great.
competent as we want, but the dice might be incompetent.
True that. Good stuff. Okay, awesome. So, I think the thing we open with, so it is January 11th, 1493, and we kind of open up on the new day. This is basically, right, like the day that you guys are gonna head out and do the thing. But if there are any last minute preparatory things, we'll do those too. But first, I think what we get is like the last like meeting with the five, with the elders, right? Like to kind of like cement this all in stone and be like, all right, we're doing this and this is how we're doing it, sort of thing. And so we're kind of like we start in media res after the credits, seeing this shot of this conversation between you guys and the five, and the rest of your party members, including Sinum and Hurakan and Akna and Tohil. And so y'all are there, and Kizine, I believe, is saying something along the lines of, so we trust this mission to you, and we hope and pray for your success. Do you have everything that you need? And Zaman is a notable absence today for some reason, but the rest of the four are here.
Wait, are the other people that were with us in the Feywild? They're coming with us, right?
Yep.
I was going to say, like, who all is coming?
Yeah, so I listed them. So it's you guys, including Miggy and Buck, and then you have Akna, Hurakan, Tohil, and Sunum, and then Ava, Akna's companion.
Yeah.
Good old Ava. Yeah, everybody likes Ava. Yeah. So that's the plan. And right, like, Sunum is going to use his Fey powers to hide you guys from the Yuan-Ti, make it to the city, and then there are secret tunnels that can be used to, and I'm trying to remember, were the secret tunnels that were mentioned, are they to get into the city or to get into the palace? Do you remember? Does anyone remember?
I don't remember. I remember my goal for one session was to figure out a plan to get into the palace.
Okay.
And I succeeded at that goal. So would that mean that the tunnels lead? I think what we said that it wasn't like there's just a secret tunnel to the prisons, but it's like a tunnel that like leads like
into the
Basically
complex
right.
general.
I'm gonna check my notes.
Okay.
I feel like I wrote
Yeah.
this down.
Yeah, would you do that?
The only secret tunnel I remember of recent memory was the one that got us into the where we are now.
Right, exactly. But then there were, I think it was mentioned briefly, in one of the meetings that you had with these people. But either way, yeah, like basically the plan is get to the city, use the secret tunnels, and then you've also been told that there is a traitor in the ranks of Erendira's, not inner circle, but like outer circle, who the Burning Sanctum has gotten into contact with and has basically like asked like, hey, we'll give you a whole bunch of stuff and like not kill you when this regime falls, sort of a thing. Like we'll set you up nicely if you help us like defeat Erendira. And so there is a traitor that is planning on meeting you guys and then helping you guys when you get there.
I just have in my notes, Caleb, that the secret tunnel leads to Erendira. I don't know if we ever got more.
So then my guess is then it'd be the palace complex in general. So not anywhere specific necessarily, but like into the main, like behind the walls that like are the palace complex and all of its buildings. So yeah. So basically they kind of lay that out to you again. They're like, all right, so this is the plan. Like, is there anything else you need? Or are we ready to Autobots roll out this situation?
I mean, do they have any like healing potions that we could take with us?
They could probably provide you with something along those lines.
I'm always down for asking for healing potions.
Yeah. Let's do this. So, let's do like regular healing potions.
I mean,
No, right? So it depends on how. Just in terms of, because they will give you the same amount of healing, but like, how do you want those divided into greater or lesser healing potions?
I feel like as long as each of us can at least have one on our person, that would be great.
Yeah, so probably like the lesser ones.
Okay. Yeah, I think
So
we
we
can
can have
provide
more to
everyone
provide.
with one on their person. That makes sense.
Okay.
Yep.
Just in case like something happens to one of us and we can't get healed by Toity or Raya.
So that's
Or Darius.
Or
that would be the
Darius.
2d4 plus
Or
2.
myself even, but yeah.
Everybody gets a 2d4 plus 2 one.
Yep.
Okay.
So everybody can put a potion of healing on their character sheet.
Okay.
And then
You're welcome.
I would also ask if they have any spare diamonds lying around to be used for spell purposes.
For Revivify.
Not for
First,
revivify, for greater restoration.
Right.
That I can make into diamond dust.
first, make a luck save. No, so they don't. So they say
Okay.
no. I was going to say, if you did make the save, then I would have you roll a persuasion check to convince them that it's worth their time to give you a bunch of diamond dust. But yeah.
Hey, they asked. I'm not. I'm one to. If they're offering,
Yeah,
let's
you're
try
right.
and get whatever that could be useful.
Exactamento.
Okay. Does anyone have spell requests? I'm taking requests.
Spell, like for your
For
own
the
spell
journey.
list.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what kind of things do we want? I mean, this is also like there's gonna be 2 days of travel,
Right.
before you actually get there.
I don't know. I got my armor, so I feel fine.
Darius
think
also
I-
has his armor, but he does not feel so
Cheap.
fine.
Hey, it's a lesser explosion now.
It is. It's true.
It only might kill me.
I mean, do you have any magical arrows for me? I'll take magic arrows if you have some.
Or
Do you
magic
want to make a
bow.
luck save? Ari?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. That might be a thing.
Nope.
Okay, so they don't have any extra, but if you mention, do you mention this? You're like, hey, do you have any magical arrows I could use?
Yeah, I'm like, do you have any like special ammunition, like magic
Right.
wise?
And so what happens is, Kizine just looks over at someone who's standing near you, and you realize he was looking at Akna, and then Akna looks at you and says, "Oh, I have some that we could share."
Fine, I'll take it from her.
Mm-hmm. Let me double check what they do. But she does have them. Let's see. Here you go, Akna. They. Oh, where are they? Oh, they're on a different thing. Let me find that different thing quickly. Do. Here we go. Oh, okay, yeah, I forgot about this. Yeah, so basically what she says is, well, so it's my quiver really that does it. It's enchanted so that when I pull an arrow out, I can tell it what to do and how to enchant the arrow. But if we're in combat and you need a special arrow, just ask and I can give you one. And so basically it's like she has like a bunch of different elemental things, so she explains to you she can draw a fire arrow.
If she dies, the first thing I'm going to do.
I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
My new goal should be get her quiver.
Yeah, I mean, you could do that.
Just like I want Tohil's gloves.
Yeah, she can do fire, poison, and lightning.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I want Darius's life to remain intact.
Yeah.
I think we all do.
She's just like, thanks.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The good news is that my next level, I'm going to switch out one of my spells for lightning arrows.
Ooh,
Oh my
fun.
gosh.
So
Can you imagine?
Fancy.
Can you imagine if it has her name on the quiver? And then Ari gets in and she's just like,
with a heart around it.
She's like, you go to try and scratch
always-
it out, but that's the thing that's enchanting it.
You'll always remember the woman you killed. Anyway. But yeah, so that's also said there. And I think is there anything else that you guys might want?
I can't think of anything. I feel like there probably should be something, but I can't think of anything.
Yeah. I mean, they've also given you a lot of things, so.
Is there any chance they have holy water?
Yes, they could give you some holy water. How much do you want?
Enough that's worth at least 100 gold, or maybe
Jeez.
multiples.
That's a lot of holy water.
Wow.
Holy
yeah,
water's-
it is. How
well,
how expensive is holy water? Normally?
Like 25 gold a flask.
Oh. Yeah, they could give you 4 flasks of holy water.
Okay, so I can do this once.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think Kaawi asks, he's like, what do you need it for, friend?
I need it for a spell.
What kind of spell?
To create a magical sort of barrier around us, a magic circle to either keep us safe from anything outside, or if need be, to trap anything else inside.
Yeah. So he says, yes, I'm familiar with something like that. Yes, of course. And Darius,
31.
yeah, got a 31 on his Arcana check, and he didn't even crit.
That's
So,
disgusting.
So Darius, I think you could make a persuasion roll to have him give you more than 4, but you would have to present some sort of argument.
Yeah. Let me just read it right quick. Do we know what kind of creature Erendira is?
In terms of like D&D creature types?
Yeah.
I don't know. Make an Arcana check.
Nope.
Darius doesn't know. You could ask Kawi.
Nah. Yeah, I think Darius says. There are a lot of undead that are walking around, and it might be good to have something for extra precaution in case there's something extra powerful.
Okay, yeah, and I think so. Does everyone want to make an insight check for me real quick? Because there's a look that passes between some of the 5 that you guys might catch.
Wait, Jordan, could you repeat what you said? You wanted to do what?
I'm basically trying to persuade him to give me more holy water so I can do magic circle, because I can basically make undead not enter the circle, or I can make or I can trap undead in the circle.
All right.
Ooh,
Only Ari sees this. So Ari, when Darius says that, so he says like, there's a lot of undead running around, and like we need to be careful. So I need like extra precaution to like protect us against powerful undead. You see the look pass between some of the members of the 5, and you're not entirely sure how to interpret this, but you see guilt in their face, in their eyes, you're not entirely sure what that means, but they seem guilty about something related to what Darius just said.
Do I make that persuasion roll?
But then Kawi, right, like he nods and he says, and then yeah, you want to make the persuasion check.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So
Nice.
Kawi
24.
nods and he says, "That makes sense to me. Yes, there are quite a few undead running around, of course, because of the, well, you know." And then so you're gonna get double the amount. I think you can get 8 flasks, which is about the amount you could carry comfortably anyway.
I mean,
It'd be kind of silly to have like 16 flasks.
I think I would figure instead of 8 small flasks, I would think it would be like 2 bigger ones.
Oh yeah, you could get 2.
Because they're like small flasks.
How
Like,
small?
So like 2 pouches rather than like 4.
Yeah, like 2 like gourds of small gourds of water. Let's look up holy water. I'm curious.
It's okay. So 1 vial of holy water is 25 gold.
Right. It weighs 1 pound, so that's not an insignificant amount of holy water. But it's also not that much. Yeah. So you have 8 pounds of water that you're carrying.
That's for 25 gold's worth.
No. For 200 gold's worth.
Right. But I mean, one is 25
1
gold
pound.
worth.
125 is 1 pound. Yeah.
Okay.
So you have an extra 8 pounds of water going on right now.
I'm carrying some water weight right now, so
That's what I was just thinking. Yeah. But yeah. So I think as this kind of conversation is kind of like drawing to a close, I think we hear the door open, or maybe it's just a curtain of beads or whatever that kind of leads into this room. But Zaman enters, and he's holding the eye, which sees into the void, and he seems troubled, and he goes right up to Kizine, I think, and he whispers something into his ear, and then Kizine he looks troubled, and then he says, Thank you for bringing this to my attention, Zaman. Please see what else you can discover. And then Zaman nods and he says, I will. And then he leaves again. But then he looks at you all and he says, I would hurry. Nahuatl is in danger. I think there's nothing more to discuss.
Hi-ho!
Yeah.
Hi-ho.
So the only other thing that I guess there's maybe two other things that let me look at my notes real quick. Yeah, one thing real quick that I think happens is Ka'awi, as the party's breaking up, right? People are starting to get ready. Ka'awi brings you aside, Darius, and he says, are there any other questions that you would like to ask me about the process that's going to be happening when you get to Erendira, and anything else I can do to prepare you for what you'll have to do?
Darius nods. I know that it takes blood to create a new god of death.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna roll something real quick. Let's see how much Kawi actually doesn't know about this whole shebang. 16. Only 16's worth. So I think he nods.
Rolled a 3.
He did. He rolled a 3, yeah.
Dang.
He nods and he says, yes, blood, sacrifice, that sort of thing. Are you ready to do what is necessary? What I mean by that is, if Erendira escapes, what is your plan? I've heard you say interesting things about this before, and I just want to be clear as to your intentions. A sacrifice is required for ascension. And he just kind of leaves it hanging.
Darius kind of turns away and takes a couple steps. See, the short one, he tells a lot of jokes.
I've noticed.
Don't like where this is going.
But he won't be telling jokes when I sacrifice him to the Elder Gods.
Better not be where it's going.
But, and Darius says, but that is the funniest joke I've heard this whole trip. You think I'm going to let her escape? And then Darius
he
starts
laughs.
off.
He laughs. He chuckles to himself. And he's like,
And Darius, just starts cracking up a little bit. No. I don't care how long. I don't care what it takes. I will hunt her down. And if not her, then every other of these 7 serpents.
yeah, he seems to frown a little bit, and he says, killing one in and of itself is going to be a monumental task. I don't know if killing all 7 serpents is going to be a thing that is accomplishable in your lifetime. But yes, that's the ultimate plan. It's possible that with another death god on our side, we may be able to hurry things along. Darius, I have some rituals I want you to look over. I want to make entirely sure that, since it seems like you'll be the one who actually kills Erendira, that you know what to do when the moment comes. I'll make sure to pass on any information that we discern from this to Raya as well, because she'll have to do another part of it. The orb part of it. Helping Nahuatl. But here, I have some things I want you to look over. And yeah, so he takes you to his study, and basically what I want you to do is he's going to go through some formulas, he's going to talk to you about arcane stuff, and I want Darius to make a intelligence check. Of course. Probably an arcana check.
Would I be able to be there with him?
Yeah, we could have that be a thing.
To help
Well,
him?
I mean,
understand
that point-
everything. Make
Yeah,
sure
Darius,
he
what?
understands.
I mean, here's my question. Is Raya also going to have to make an intelligence check for her stuff?
I think so. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Now that I'm thinking about it, is if he takes both Raya and Darius into his study and like, all right, now here's all those formulas, here's all the rituals, like we need to get this down, sort of a thing. And the thing is, right, like he's not entirely sure on the process, but because you guys mentioned this stuff already, like you're like, I know that it takes like blood to do this. He's thought of some things, and then he's like put together some information, and he's like, I think this will help. Like this could probably help you accomplish this. So what I can allow is if Raya and Darius are there together, we could have both of you make intelligence checks with advantage. Right, each of you are giving each other advantage. But you will both have to make separate checks because there are different pieces of this that have to be done right. Right? So
Yeah.
Can I pray for like
For
Darius
another
first
D4?
and then myself?
yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, we can lay on hands
For
and
guidance.
pray for some
Yes.
people as they're having to figure this out.
Yes.
Lord, I pray that you would give Darius in the moment the right things to do when he kills the serpent goddess.
Yes.
I thought it's more
help
like
him
praying-
understand
I thought it was like more like
with
praying
God.
before an exam.
Yeah. Lord, guide my pencil.
Because I don't know what to make it do.
Yeah. But yes, yeah, you can give him a D4. So Darius, I think these are both Arcana checks. That's just what this says,
Oh, Arcana checks.
because they're intelligence checks.
That doesn't help me at all, but that's fine.
Yeah, it's just a more specific intelligence check.
Okay.
Darius,
Like,
you already have advantage, so
I know. I'm
Advantage
just looking
and
to
a
see if there's any
D4.
spells I have that give me.
right. Yeah, does anyone have like intelligence boosting spells?
I mean, I was just thinking more like Bardic Inspiration-esque stuff.
Or that, yeah.
Like
Toy, do you say like you got this, guys?
Just get everyone in the room and just like
You didn't bring Toity in there.
I know.
We haven't used Toy's Bardic Inspiration in so long. I feel like.
I almost just wish it was an intelligence save, but okay. Arcana
yeah,
check.
sorry. Saves are like when you're reacting against something, not when you're trying to accomplish something. Yeah.
Arcana check.
Arcana check, and you get to add a D4.
And advantage.
13, add that D4. This will make the difference.
I can't go the distance.
Okay.
15.
So Darius, you
Oh.
have a pretty good understanding of what this entails, but just for players' sake, you are missing some important piece, and something will go wrong.
Something will go wrong, or I'll have to figure it out.
Or that, right? Like there will be a setback. There will be one setback that happens when you attempt to do this.
Oh, as it turns out, it demands 2 sacrifices.
Yeah. All right, Raya.
Quick, Toehill, come over here for a second.
Oh my god.
Akna, Toheel, stand right there.
No,
Perfect.
Akna's fine. Toehill's the real one I want
It's
dead.
true.
Ari wants Akna dead, but
Right. Alyssa and
Alyssa
Ari.
doesn't. I like her.
No,
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 Alyssa
I'm
wants
saying
Toheel.
Alyssa wants
Toheel.
Toheel dead.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Who doesn't want Toheel dead? Like, even his own people in-game want him dead.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why they're sending him on this mission.
Ooh.
Nice.
20. Okay, yeah, make that D4.
21.
Yeah, so I mean, Raya, your part in it is a little bit more complicated, but I think you've just gotten enough that you should be able to do, unless there are like external complications, you should be able to know what to do with the orb in the moment when it comes. You just have to make sure you're there to do it, right? So cool, good stuff. So if that scene fades away, I'm gonna ask one more time: is there any other last second thing y'all want to do in the Burning Sanctum before we head out? Otherwise, I have one last thing, and then we're off.
I don't have anything.
All right. So I think that the scene, just briefly, we don't see most of this scene. But I think we see Toheel.
Uh-oh.
And he is we see him go through go into the mess hall, grab some food, on the line, go off somewhere, kind of like I think maybe down to his laboratory or something. And we see him set this like plate of food off to the side. He has some sort of like tortillas and whatnot, and he's just kind of like setting off to the side. And he starts like looks at like some symbols he has written on a scroll, and he's like kind of thinking about something and mumbling to himself. And then we hear, and Tohio kind of like looks behind him, and we just keep getting the shot on him, and but we hear Tohio say, "Oh, hello, I didn't see you there. What can I help you with?" And then we see like just a shadow of some person kind of go over Tohio, and then we cut from the scene.
Tohio's gonna die! Yay!
So I'm
Hey,
going
dang
to
it,
make.
Caleb! No, we were supposed to kill Tohio, so we get the satisfaction.
So I am gonna make a. I think I'm gonna make a roll here,
Oh, we might still get to it.
just to see what happens. Okay, cool. All right, so I think what we see. Let's see.
It's Ava coming up and being like, "You better not."
Interesting. Okay.
Because
Ava,
the type of roles that they're making right now just scares me a little bit.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
It's about to turn into a murder mystery.
Yeah, it turns out. Sorry, the expedition is stalled. Someone got killed.
Colonel Mustard with the candlestick.
Just break out a clue board and just be like, all right, guys, I don't have any ideas for the next couple sessions, so we're just going to do this.
We're gonna play Clue
We're
for
going to play
2
Clue for a couple sessions.
Terra Nullius clue. I want it to
Okay,
be a thing.
so-
Terra Nullius.
You guys get... That's so bad. No.
Yes, it was. That's
Okay.
why I said it.
So,
You need to get a clue, Seth.
my goodness. All right. You know who you find dead in the morning? Toity and Darius. That's who you find dead in the morning. Okay, so...
We died of laughter from being so funny.
Yup. Mm-hmm.
I thought you were gonna say we died from being so clueless.
Dang it, that works so much better.
No, it really doesn't.
I have this
actually.
feeling I know what just happened, but I'm curious what it is.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
let's
sure
see.
that too.
I'm trying to think briefly as to how to present this to you in the next hour here when you guys kind of like gather up to like head out.
Call dibs on his gloves.
Okay, so would each of you want to make a perception
All
check
dibs on
for
his
me?
blood.
What's that? Perception?
Yep. So we see you guys kind of like
19.
gearing up and
I
getting ready
see
to go.
nothing.
19.
Yeah, you really see nothing. Okay, so Toity and Ari, you notice that both Miggy and
knew it.
Tohil have like bruises and cuts and things.
I knew it.
Yeah.
I literally guessed.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that's even better. That's fantastic.
Yeah, they look like
Yeah.
hurt.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. Mm-hmm.
What? Wait.
The
Can
moment
I?
you put intimidation, I was like, oh, it's totally Miggy being
Of course,
like, hey,
yeah.
get off my girls.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yep. Mhm.
Can I roll? Would Toity realize what happened since he could?
Would that be insight?
Well, would I know? Would I know enough given the situation to
Honestly,
realize?
I think
what's
both
happening?
of you need to make insights to know that for sure.
Can 20 make insight with advantage?
20.
Not that he needs it.
Yeah.
Don't need it.
But, yeah. So you both know what just happened. Yep. Because you remember that incident.
I love
So
it. I love it.
I'm just
Did
gonna.
Ari know that?
I just knew that there was an altercation between them. I didn't know that he was
right.
like looking
you
at
don't.
their
Yeah, you don't
butts.
know that, but you do know there's an altercation between them now, right? Like
I'm just kind of
you
gonna
can guess
cover.
This is an extrapolation on what happened last time, right?
I'm just gonna like kind of cover my mouth, kind of, and like point at and cast message like, "You didn't invite me
To Miggy.
to Miggy."
Yeah, and he says, in hindsight, I wish I would have. And he seems like genuinely like kind of like his more than his body is wounded, right?
Did he take any hit points?
Probably. Let's make a roll here. Okay, they both lost 4 hit points. That's what they did.
Wow, they look beat up and bruised over 4 hit points.
I mean, Miggy
Well,
does
I mean,
not have
you
very
know,
many.
It's non-lethal damage. They're just bruised.
Ari's just like, what the heck, Miggy?
I don't want to talk about it.
Miggy, come on.
It's fine. It's over.
She goes up to him and like casts Cure Wounds on him.
Aww.
Okay. Yeah.
For 1 hit point.
Oh, dang it.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to
You
really
can cure the physical wounds all you want, but there's a deeper wound.
There's a deeper wound here. His pride. Yeah.
He's just,
Oh, I
she's
guess-
just like, what happened to no secrets between us?
All right. Hey, come over here real quick.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no! Now Tohil's really gonna get hurt.
Oh, when I see them go off and she's gonna talk to him after, it looks like I can tell it's like something serious or something. I'm gonna go and say something to Ari after they're done too.
Sure. Yeah, so he just brings you aside real quick because everybody's kind of like getting ready to go and like gearing up and whatnot. We see Darius like saddling his new axe beak Leonechka, so Miggy just kind of like he looks very sheepish when he says this, but he says, I noticed that Tohil was he wasn't being the most gentlemanly person the other day, and I decided to try to get him to stop.
Impart some
didn't-
Gentlemanly? What does that even mean?
He would. Wait, do you not? No.
I knew that you like had a disagreement with him before when we were. I don't know what happened.
He's really trying to decide how much he needs to tell you,
I've never
but also
felt...
he keeps coming back to you had said like no lies between us. Do you want to make a persuasion check just to see?
I'm not sure if
No, I don't want to make any persuasion rolls.
Because he's not trying to like lie to you or like keep anything secret. There you go. Wow. Crit success 20.
The one time I really kind of don't care.
Yeah,
And, like,
exactly. This is Ari for you. We've known this for a while. Yep.
she did make a good argument, but still.
Yeah.
What the heck, Ari? What is we didn't roll 20. I swear.
So Miggy kind of sighs and he says, he was looking at you. He was like staring at your butt, and
So?
he was being crass and crude, and he was being disrespectful to you. So I decided to tell him to stop, and it kind of
I don't
came to
care.
blows. Of course you don't care. Well, I care, so it's fine. I don't think he'll do it again, though.
That's sweet, but Miggy, I don't understand why you felt like you needed to get in a fight because he was looking at my butts. Who cares if he was
I
looking...
didn't try to get into a fight. I kind of just wanted to intimidate him a little bit, but there's a bit of a
'Cause you're
language
such an
barrier,
intimidating
and
person.
Oh
no!
kind of frowns at that.
Seth, that would be the time for...
I don't have the soundboard up.
No, I know.
Brr, 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 brr.
That's what it...
No, I was going for.
Oh, no, I was totally going for the... burp, 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 burp.
So he frowns, and he says, "Well, I'm more intimidating than he is, so there's that."
I mean, I'll give you that.
Does making
So Ari's just honestly kind of laughing about the situation.
Yeah, and so
She's
I
like,
think
okay.
he says,
So that one
do you
damage
not think
that
the
you
beard
healed-
makes me look a little bit more intimidating, at least, though?
Well, you certainly look more handsome.
So,
Well, thank you.
Does Miggy take psychic damage from what Ari said?
that's what I was going to say.
The one hit point I gave him goes down.
Like, pride has been assaulted
Yeah.
a little bit more.
I mean, I feel like that Ari and him have a good enough relationship now that like he's not gonna just randomly take offense to something like that. Like he's just like, all right, it's just a joke.
He can tell
right?
that like she's just being,
yeah, exactly. You're just teasing.
teasing.
So funny.
Yeah, and so I think he says, it's fine. It's done anyway.
Don't get any more fights because of me, please.
Okay. I mean, what if your life is actually in danger, though?
Well, I mean, that's different.
Okay, as long as we have that stipulation down. All right, fine. Well, I'm certainly going to not like him. So
It's
that's
fine. I don't really care about him either, but
If it looks like their conversation is kind of ending, I want to go over to Ari
Mhm.
and just be like, "Oh, hey, Ari, before I forget, when I was talking to Cebu last night, he wanted me to let you know that
Is Miggy still here when you're saying this? Like you just walk up to the two of them and say this?
I mean,
Or do you like say, all right, I need to tell you something. Like, can you come over here?
I'm trying to think if I would have Miggy walk away or not. I don't think I would specifically like tell Miggy to like walk away or pull Ari aside.
Yeah, so I think he's still standing there.
So I just go, oh, when I was talking to Cebu last night, he just said that to let you know that Samuel has been talking about you for the past 3 days, apparently.
Miggy raises an eyebrow.
have Miggy make a perception check.
Insight, would it be?
No, perception.
Okay.
I have a reason for it.
Gotcha. He's trained in this. Not very well, but he is trained in it. 14.
She's slightly blushing.
Okay. Yeah.
But she tries to play it off as cool. She's just like, okay. Thanks, Raya, for delivering the message.
Your cousin?
Yeah.
Miggy tries to play it off cool, too.
Actually, while I'm thinking about it, Raya, will you hold on to this for me? And she like gets out her satchel and like takes out like a piece of parchment that's like folded up and hands it to you. Says, just in case, give that to Samuel if you see him and I can't. And she like, you can tell she like is trying to like say the words like, in case I die,
Right.
Yeah.
him.
I'm just kind of like, okay, Ari, but I mean, we're all gonna get through this.
I hope so.
I mean, if I have any say about it, and I like kind of like have my bag and I like have some diamonds, I'm like, we're all gonna get through this, Ari.
I know, I just don't want to leave anything unsaid, that's all.
Okay.
Because then you'll have to you have to get a piano, and then you'll have to play things left unsaid by Disciple.
So I think what happens also is Mickey, to continue the running gag, he says, "Oh, also while I'm thinking about it, Raya, can I talk to you real quick?"
Okay.
Yeah, and he's like, "Over here, like let's talk real quick."
Okay.
Yeah, and I think he just says, and you know, I assume Ari has like preparation things to do anyway, and so like he just kind of like he looks at you and he says, "Raya, the other day, are you okay? It seemed like a lot."
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. Is there anything I can do for you? Any way that, I don't know, something to be on the lookout for? Do you know if this whole situation is going to happen again, or?
It should be done. it should not happen again.
Okay. Okay. Good. And I'm trying to think of how you'd phrase this next thing. I think he says he gets like the like conspiratorial like kind of look on his face, and he says, "How is it going with Cebu?"
Right, kind of blushes a little bit. And
Which is hard to see because, you know, she has blue skin.
yeah. But I mean, Mickey has proven that he's apparently very good at noticing blushes.
Yes.
And Raya just kind of goes, I think it's going well.
What was the last thing you how are things, like, how do they stand? Are they're here now?
Yeah, I don't know exactly where they are, but they've hit land now. So maybe once all this is sorted out.
Mm-hmm. Of course, yeah. Hey, I just want you to know that I'm here if you want any help with any of this, and at any point during this whole thing, I mean, you just need someone to talk to. It seemed like there was a lot of things that you were just kind of keeping in, and they came back and hurt you, and I just don't want that to happen to you again. So don't hesitate to tell me if there's something wrong or something's bothering you. That's what friends do, right?
I guess so.
Are we friends, Raya?
I've never really thought about that before. But I guess so.
He just kind of smiles, and he says, I think you're my friend, Raya. And I think
Raya
he like
just doesn't really know how to
yeah,
deal
and he
with friends. She's never really had a real friend before.
so I think she just like, or he just puts like his hand on your forearm, right? Like, and he just says like, I just want to be your friend. Is that okay?
I don't think I have a problem with that.
Can I make a persuasion check to like seal the deal here, sort of
Sure.
thing? Yeah.
He can make a roll so he can help his goal.
Yes. Thank you.
Roll for the goal.
19.
Ooh, I don't know if he really. Yes.
Okay.
We're friends now.
Yay.
But also, did he notice Tohil looking at Raya's butt too and hasn't said anything to her?
I think it was just Ari, wasn't it?
Well,
No,
he
he
didn't
looked
say
at
anything to
both
either of
of
you
us.
guys. He just took matters into his own hands and like beat up
I know,
Tohil
but he just told Ari about it.
because
so I
she
just
pressed
wanted
him to. He
Okay.
probably isn't going to mention it to you if it doesn't come up.
Wasn't it
Because
just
he's kind of
Ari?
embarrassed about it too.
Right,
so.
exactly. That's the issue. Is he's embarrassed about it.
No, in the forest, he checked out both of our butts.
It was
Yeah.
okay. I only remember the
Because
part.
they were
the
standing in
Feywild.
front of.
But the problem is that you're in heavy armor. I'm in a very like form-fitting leather
Yeah.
armor right now.
Yeah.
I think it was
don't
only-
let friends. Friends don't let friends have creepy guys stare at their butts, no matter what they're wearing.
It's true. It's true.
I know. I'm just making an observation. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
And he did do something about it. Just
Okay, cool. So I think we see the travel music starts to play, and we see you guys head out into the jungle. Cool. I mean, let's go ahead and take a break. Let's take a
Yes,
quick break. Good time to do it, and we'll come back and we will start our trek away from the Burning Sanctum into
Into the
Erendira's
stars?
city. What?
Dang it, Jordan! I was gonna make that joke.
But yeah, there's still much more Terra and Nullius to be had on today's episode. So stick around. We'll be right back.